What the hell is that?
That is an amazing stinger. So Sweet Baby Inc. has obviously, they're the narrative consultants. They've been working on video games. And we are, as we like to do here, we're chronicling some of those video games' inevitable failure. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn has been released, and it is an epic failure. It has lost nearly 70% of its already terrible player base, and that's in just over a week. But we're seeing this time and time again, actually. It's not a surprise, obviously, but we are seeing this time and time again with these video games, is that they come out, they have a bad player base anyway, and then they're gone in a week. They're dead in a week. I mean, we saw it with Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. That released to middling numbers, if you could call it even that, and then it was gone. Like a fart in the wind, it was gone. And this is one of those ones that we're getting here. So, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, developed by A44 Games with the help of Sweet Baby Inc. and published by Kepler Interactive, lost nearly 70% of its already anemic user base in just over 1 week since it released. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, released on July 18th and only had a peak concurrent count of 648. Oh, wow. That is...
And it was probably all the developers and their friends and family that they buy.
That is worse than Abysmal. That is really bad. Just over a week since the game released, the peak concurrent has declined now nearly 70% to just 203 players. That is woeful, man. That's woeful. That's worldwide players, guys.
It's still doing better. It's still doing better than I anticipated. But again, you're going to have a few hundred people that are playing on console without Steam. I know, but you're going to have a few people playing on console. Or you're going to have But honestly, do you think there's more than 1,000 people at any one time that are playing this game across the entire globe?
Mm.
I mean,
True.
I mean,
that's bad, isn't
it? It's the worst. It's the worst you could ever possibly imagine. I mean, if you're a developer, right, and you put all this effort and time into this game, and you're a distributor, a publisher, which in this case that's Kepler Interactive, you spent a lot of money trying to get this out in the world. So you've got, and even with the lowered expense of digital distribution, nobody bought your game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is woeful. I mean, apparently it has mostly positive reviews, but again, that'll be all from developers' friends and paid reviews as well. But the most helpful review is this one. This game feels unfinished. The store page describes it as Souls Light. And that's what it is in the worst possible ways. Light on the build depth and variety. Light on the difficulty. Light on the content and length of the damn game. I completed the main story, including all side quests, all Enki feathers, and all shrines in 11.6 hours. Wow. I played on normal, so maybe the hard difficulty is more of a challenge, but the big bosses were trivial. Even the final boss fell over pretty quick. And the story is nothing to speak of. Oh, and the game kept crashing on me. Thankfully, the game seems to save its state before exiting, even on a crash, so I never lost any progress. Don't get me wrong, I had some fun. I wouldn't have spent 11.6 hours on it if there was no fun to be had. It's particularly satisfying to switch between melee and ranged combat relatively fluidly, or to shoot a suspiciously well-placed explosive barrel to clear a pack of enemies, but that fails to make up for everything the game lacks. Overall, I think this game is criminally undercooked. The concept and world had decent potential, and the combat isn't terrible either. So given a few more years of development, I could see this game being pretty good. Sadly, what we got was just mediocre on almost all levels. I wouldn't suggest you paying much more than $10 for it. That is the most rated, the most helpful review. Absolutely terrible. Just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And then obviously, Cabrutus Rambo, who is the head of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, curator list, just says, yeah, God, Flintlock is terrible. And this is what you get. I mean, it's just been absolutely just destroyed into oblivion. There's helpful reviews which are pretty, I guess, sort of light on the criticism of it by comparison to other stuff. There's here, those gods are almost a symbol of colonialism.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants this crap.
Well,
no one's interested in this.
And interestingly enough, I mean, now that I have the game channel on that game place, we've covered this game multiple times. We've got another one coming out that breaks down some of the people that are involved in this, including people who, wanted them to call them professor and crazy crap like that. Yeah. This, everybody that's in any of these game studios, anybody who's involved in this stuff is garbage. Now, at the very bottom of this article, if you scroll, you're going the wrong way. There's a tweet from this Kay Lizzie, or Lizzie K, right? Her name's Lizzie Kane. She's Cracker Barrels. Do you know what she's doing now? She's started her own consultancy group now. She was inspired by her friend Kim Belair.
Get on that grift, mate. Got to get on that grift.
Well, she's Australian, so they still have some room for some crazy stuff down there. But yeah, and she's a piece of work herself. She actually worked at Kepler. She actually worked for a couple of these failures out there. So or League of Games or something else she worked for that cut their staff by 80% recently. I mean, she's had not a great career. She hasn't contributed much, but losing 70% of the player base is bonkers. I don't know. I have been toying with playing this game just to like have something to put up on the channel to show people how much garbage it is, but
play Alien Isolation. Don't be a loser.
Thank you. That's what I think I'll do.
Way better game.
There you go.
Way better game. Play Alien Isolation. It's a great game.
Oh, Flintlock. Your time has come and gone. Such a short period of time you were with us here on this earth.
In 12 days.
The funny thing is, if you guys remember, like 2 weeks ago, Microsoft reportedly fired their entire DEI team because they realized this is going to lose us money. It is not helping. People are not supporting this agenda. And so we're getting rid of it completely. And here's a great example of when you don't get rid of it and you have all this nonsense in your game studio and in your game. This is the result of it. So, just like we were talking about in the last article with the Wangs of Power, these gaming studios are going to have to wake up to the same reality that this woke agenda messaging nonsense crap is not going to work for them. If you want to do it organically and make the characters make sense, and don't put so much emphasis on, this has a lead black character in it, and people who don't like it are just is and obes or whatever. Don't even talk about it. Just when Stellar Blade came out, freaking lead character and who was a woman who in real life probably would not be able to fight like that at all. And would probably just get killed immediately. Very unrealistic. But it was a lead, a woman in it. But they didn't, uglify her either. And made her badass and hot at the same time. And that game did great. They tried kind of censoring some of the stuff in the game, but then they went back and put a lot of those outfits and stuff back in the game and kind of took a step backwards back to their original idea of it before they were Sony was trying to censor them. So I don't know. Maybe these other companies will wake up and start doing the same thing and get rid of this nonsense woke garbage crap that they keep trying to push on people.
I don't think they will, but
We'll
Well,
see.
I guess they'll keep losing money, and then they'll go bankrupt and not even be around anymore, and then it won't matter.
Well,
That's true.
for the fourth time this week, and I've said it more than that, 9 game studios are going to go out of business in 2024.
That's mad.
Not
9.
surprised.
You know,
Ubisoft's on their way too.
which is impossible to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to have 2 terrible games coming out, Assassin's Creed Shadow and this Star Wars game. Wow.
God, they're gonna lose so much money.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're gonna bomb. We've got some super chats about this. So we've got T Nil says, "Well, in the words of a rather heavy-set, bold man with a Russian accent, ah ha 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 ha, cry some more." I don't know who that is, but all right. Sour adolescent unincorporated notwithstanding, it's funny how innovative in video games basically just means catching up to Valve or From Software. That's true. Yeah. Just playing catch up. Screw that. Play Dark Tide with me instead, culture. There you go. There you go. But let's move on
All
from
right.
this big old pile of drivel.